Welcome back to Precision Trader University. Once again, I want to take some time and show you how to use the most powerful trading tool in the stock market to quickly make you some money and safely make you some money each and every day in the market. And of course, that tool is Bookmap. In the video, I'm going to show you my three powerful strategies and very profitable strategies that I've used, that I use with Bookmap. You don't need any other indicator to go along with them, just Bookmap, and how you can take advantage of these. Also, too, I want to show you how you could have found these plays intraday. Because again, even though these strategies are amazing, they're great, but the question is, can you find plays with it? So I'm going to show you how you can find plays every single day, setups before that happens in the market. Also, too, I want to show you how to be able to do this as far as scanning. Because again, the idea is, I know some people in the market love to spend a lot of time, researching the market, looking through stocks, all this kind of stuff. Me personally, that's not me. I don't want to spend any time outside of the market researching stuff. I want to be able to show up to the market, the first 15 to 30 minutes, scan, find my plays, set my alerts within $1 to $2 of these key levels, and then when it gets to that level, I start paying attention, go in there, enter the play, 2 to 20 minutes, got my profit, I'm out of there, waiting for another alert to trigger. So I don't know about you, but I like that. I don't want to waste my time with a lot of extra stuff again, and I want to be able to make my profits very quickly. I don't want to have to just sit there and watch a handful of stocks all day long. To each his own on that. So anyway, if that's something that interests you, well, feel free to watch where I show you how you can quickly scan, find the stocks there. And also too, if you want to be able to see how we personally enter these plays, because again, these plays, the vast majority of the time, the plays that I go over in these videos are plays that we took live. Okay, so we identified the spot, we got it in there, we got out. So if you'd like to see those results, go over to Precision Trader University. That server there is the link to that server is in below, so you can get all that information. Also, too, if you want to get all the nuances, how where we set our stops, how much, all that kind of stuff. Again, we don't with these strategies, you're not going to take a lot of stops. 90+% of the time you won't be taking a stop, but at the same time, you still need to know where the stops are to protect yourself. So anyway, with that said, we're going to get into our plays that we took today, Netflix and Tesla. So these were both plays that we took today. It was also too, as usual, at the end of the video, I'm going to try to plan to cover some of my SPY ES stuff for members. So if you'd like to enjoy that, feel free to wait to the end of the video, and you'll get to see us go over using all the other core indicators from the indicator course 2.0. You see all that in live action as well. So with that said, Netflix. So one of our three strategies, okay, we have our push through strategy, we have our short scalp at major liquidity, and we have our momentum strategy. Now with Netflix today, it gave us beautiful setups on the momentum strategy and our short scalp at major liquidity. Now with Bookmap, it's very simple. It does all the work for you. You don't have to try to come over here. I can't even remember the last time that I made a trade based off the amount of orders in the book. So again, if somebody wants to use that, that's fine. But for me, I let Bookmap do all the work. Okay. I simply zoom in here. I want to see what's on the $5 increments. Okay. $5 increments on this side, 60, 65, 70, all that. Okay. So I get to those increments because I know everything that shows up on this is going to be major liquidity. And again, if you focus on major liquidity in your trading, you're going to find some very, very easy money. So you just have to understand how to take advantage of that major liquidity. And of course, that's what our three strategies are designed to do. So I see major liquidity here at 40, see some here at 45, 47, and 50. So I know those are the monster levels. So with that said, we start the day here at 30 something dollars today. Where is your bias? So again, if you're looking at a stock, to start the day and you're just like, okay, where is this stock likely to go? Well, your bias is always where the majority of the liquidity is. Liquidity, this monster liquidity acts as a tractor beam to the price. I mean, it's just sucking it in, gravitational pull, just bringing the price to those levels. So again, just get in the habit of identifying that. Okay, start the day looking at a stock. Okay, where's all the major liquidity at? Okay, zoom it all in. Okay, now you can have an understanding. Okay, where's the bias? That's how you can have a very strong bias when it comes to a stock. So, with that said, we got our major levels of liquidity. So we start the day. What do we get to start the day? Beautiful ignition candle. You'll see. We'll talk about that more in the SPY ES section. So, and where are they pushing to? Well, pushing to this major level of liquidity here at 240 here. So now they get to 240, and then they proceed to dump all the way back to the 238s. So they pump up to it. Now again, I wasn't paying attention to Netflix at this point. So with that said, you could have easily taken advantage of this. We got this beautiful push up to it right here, 240, and what do they proceed to do? They dump this thing all the way back to the 238s. So awesome to be able to take advantage of that, because again, our short scalp strategy, you're looking for $1 to $2 to $5. That's usually the sweet spot for the most time on the short scalp strategy at major liquidity. And again, 240 major liquidity. So with that said, they did pull it back. Now, what happens is they start pushing, because again, where's all, your bias is not that it's just going to come down here and keep dumping. The only way that Netflix goes up here and then it just keeps going down the rest of the day is if SPY starts dumping. That's it. That's the only way it happens. As long as SPY is holding up, moving sideways, or even pushing up, you're good to go. The only thing that's going to derail this, getting to all this liquidity up here, is the SPY dumping. Now, of course, later in the day, you saw this. That's exactly what happened here. SPY started pulling back really hard, pulled everything back with it. So again, you have to. I always want my traders, especially if you're going to be, in something for more than 20 minutes or so. Again, you got to be paying attention to SPY. So with that said, we get our absorption here. So what happens whenever you're trying to play momentum? So the momentum strategy is you're wanting to ride the wave. You want to keep playing with the trend. Well, one thing you need to see is the major liquidity is absorbed. So that happens here. So it comes down, they reject off of it, it pushes back up, all right, absorbs it. Now, absorption does not mean that it's automatically going to go up. That just means that all those orders at that area were filled. Okay, it could have easily, dumped right back down here. So for momentum, people that are, smartly playing momentum want to ride it. What they have to do is you have to see that absorption, and then you have to see support. You have to start seeing wicks on top of this liquidity. Okay, so whether that be a $1 push up, then to come back to it, or right here, or never mind, it was a $1. Let me see. Yeah, it was 50 cents to $1 they got up here. So again, that's good. That's what you want to see. You want to see the push through. They come back, support, 2 nice wicks, 3 nice wicks, bam, ignition candle. Where does that tell you? What are they going to do? They are heading up to the next major level of liquidity, which in this case is 245. So what do? They push it right up to 245. They actually even push through a little bit on it, up to 246. Oh, we love that. We love whenever we're playing it again, a major level of liquidity, and then they push $1 through it. Oh God, that's the probabilities go through the roof. Okay, when you get a major level of liquidity and they push straight through it without a major pullback. In this case, they did pull back, around $1.20. So, so you did get a nice, decent little pullback there. But what did they do? Buyers start coming in right here. So pullback. This is your bear flag. That's bear flag liquidity right there. So they come in here, bear flag liquidity. They pop it straight up to 246. And then from there, bam, they end up dumping it. And this is a prime example where you want to be paying attention to SPY as well. SPY started pulling back as well. So again, everything worked beautifully there. Where do they end up pulling? All the way back to this liquidity here. So, and you can see they try to step in here, but ultimately they need to pull it back. If you're ever wondering, something just keeps dumping, what do you got to do? You got to come find where the major liquidity was before. So in this case, 240, what do? They pull it right back to that area, and then bam, they start pumping it up from there. And where are they pumping it to? Where's the end goal? Now again, anything could have happened in here. So for me, it's like I don't feel comfortable playing this right here. I don't. I mean, my bias, of course, is to the upside because this is where the major liquidity is. But for me, it's like I'd much rather let it get up to this 247 liquidity here And then, if I want to play me some pullback there, that's fine. And then of course, would you get there all the way back to 243? Now again, I wasn't doing a very good job of scanning this morning. We were honestly, just focusing on SPY and ES, trying to, like I said, just try to stay out of trouble with that. Again, I was a bad scanner today. But with that said, I did set an alert for where? 250. Okay. So 250, what was it? Probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. I seen this level. I seen Netflix. I set the alert for. I was like, man, when this gets to 250, this is going to be some free money here. So anyway, so I identified that monster liquidity at 250 2 or 3 days ago. Now again, like I said, if I'd have been scanning like I was supposed to today, I could have been playing all of this. Okay, but I was just lazy. I mean, I'll just be honest with you there. So it's one of those that we find a bunch of free money plays all the time. So it's like, we have more, we have plenty of plays. So it's not one of those that, it's no big deal. But this 250 liquidity, definitely didn't want to miss that. So I finally had an alert go off in the 248s, letting me know when it got to around 248, letting me know that, hey, my monster 250 liquidity is coming up. And what made this even more beautiful? Nothing behind it. No major liquidity behind it, just a big old monster level. So what does that tell me? That's the top. Around 250 is the top. And there's more than likely a ton of bag holders there. So we sent out the entry for 250. And sure enough, we come up here. They come up into it once, dump off of it back into the 240, back to 248-ish. And then what do? Push right back up into it, 250. And look at that beautiful candle. Straight one of the guys in the server, they're like, hey, what he asked me he's my man, but man, he asked me what about playing to the upside at 250. I was like, if you trying to play it, if you think you can get in here play the upside at 250, I can tell you you're about to get buried. Anyway, and literally as soon as we're having finish that conversation, we get this candle right here. Straight down in the 247s. So anyway, beautiful dump. Tell the guys to take half or more there, and then anyway, if they want to hold a runner into the 245s, 246s, we can get there really quickly. There was a major algo from of course from the indicator course, if you know that. Anyway, it was down here at 245 right here. It was at 245 somewhere right in this area, and of course they got it down to it beautifully there, and then they popped it off of it. So with that said, that was Netflix. So anyway, some beautiful money there, very, very high probability money. So for us, like I said, I could have been playing this all. I could have set, scanned earlier today, not been lazy, scanned, found honestly, I could have found the 240 entry, could have easily made money off of that. Nice quick $2 off of that. Then we get this momentum right here, this beautiful momentum setup wicks. Could have easily played that up to the 245 liquidity. And then whenever we got that beautiful $1 push through, could have hit it there for at least another dollar or two at a minimum. And then the 247 one, that one I would have probably set on my hands a little bit, because this monster 250, that was the one. That was the one to wait for. So, and with that said, it was worth the wait. So anyway, so that was Netflix. Another one we played today was Tesla. Now Tesla, usually SPY and ES, and Tesla I'm watching, I'm watching those all day. So I don't have to scan for Tesla because I'm watching it every day. That's Tesla doesn't like us because we make a lot of money on Tesla. So if you're struggling to trade Tesla, well, I can assure you there's a lot of money to be made on Tesla if you know what you're doing. So anyway, with that said, Tesla, beautiful start to the day, similar to everything else. SPY was dragging everything up. So what happens? You got beautiful liquidity here at 215. They push up to it. Short scalp strategy. This is the initial test on major liquidity above. What do? They dump it all the way back to 212. Beautiful dump there. They push it right back up. They absorb it this time, but they still dump. Now look what happens. They finally push back up and they get a beautiful support candle on it. That tells me now this level has been conquered. Okay, and more than likely they're going to want to hold it. And where they want to push to? Where's the next major level of liquidity? Where's it at? Okay, now again, normally this you look down here at 200, 205. It's like, oh my God, that's just my, you say, oh God, it's got to go down there. Okay, we're 15, $20 away from that. Okay, you want to be paying attention to stuff that's within five, within five, usually $5 to $10 is the sweet spot. 5, 10, $15 away. Once you start getting, more than that, 15 plus dollars away. Now, like I said, the gravitational pull of that liquidity is not going to be as strong. Now, from a swing perspective, absolutely, absolutely. When Tesla was up at 300, I kept saying, hey, there's monster liquidity down at 250. It's going to it's going to make its way to 250, and then it gets to 250, eats through that liquidity, and then bam, monster liquidity at 200. I said, hey, it's going to 200. I was like, put it on your calendar. I mean, it's so anyway. From a swing trading perspective, as long as you give yourself enough time, you can swing trade beautifully with Bookmap. So with that said, as far as the entries on Tesla, so our entries were. So we took advantage of it in voice chat. I didn't send this one out because again, SPY was SPY was just all over the place. So anyway, so we played it pretty safe here, but we did get the pump up into the 219s, 220s. We did play some pullback in that area, but the entries that I sent out to the channels, one was 221 for the push through strategy, and the other one was 222. So with that said, they did get to 220. They absorbed it. They pushed through $1 up to 221, and then from there, this was the entry that we had, and they pulled it all the way back into the 218s. So anyway, nice there. And then what do they proceed to do? They proceed to push it right back up here to this, this major liquidity here at 222. So got to take advantage of that. They get it. You see a beautiful dump there. They end up dumping it all the way back. I told ones, hey, play it safe. If you get in the 215 to 218s range, take it and get out of there. So with that said, it ended up pulling back, right here to 219. I think it might have hit the 218s a little bit right there. So anyway, beautiful entry there. And then we see that the buyers try to start coming back in here in the 215 or the 217s. You can see them starting to load back up here. 217s, 216, 215. So they're ready to buy that dip. And then they end up holding it there from going any lower. And of course, SPY held the line as well. So anyway, because a big part of these, again, if you're real, especially when you're playing momentum, when you're playing the push through strategy and the short scalp at major liquidity, those, unless SPY's just pumping out of its mind, you don't really have to worry about SPY ES on that. But when you're trying to play momentum, you're playing the momentum, you need to be aware of what SPY and ES is doing. You need to be able to understand, hey, where is it likely to have top areas? Because that will affect your momentum plays significantly. So anyway, so that does it for the Bookmap portion. I want to flip over here to, let me see, I'm going to flip over and show you the screen. Trading screen for SPY ES. Just want to quickly, again, for members here, just want to go over what price action for all of you that have the Precision Indicator Course 2.0. Like I said, you already have all this on your chart. You have the algos, and again, these lines right here. This is not my supply and demand or support and resistance stuff. This stuff is already on my charts ahead of time. These are computer traded levels. Again, institution algos are buying and selling off of these levels. So again, I'm not going to try to say that we have every one of them out there, but the ones that we have work really, really good. So understanding how to use them, how to get them on your chart, how to take advantage. Yeah, that's all of that's in the Precision Indicator Course 2.0. And I can assure you, if you have any desire to scalp and day trade, you are, you're trading blind, and you don't even realize it. So with that said, our opening to start the day, we always like to pay attention to the opening range break. This was our opening range break here. So there was a top. We always do this on the 2 minute. The 2 minute is our time frame of choice. So this is the area. So we're looking for a break out of this area or break, to the upside or the downside. So beautifully. It goes up, pulls back on that candle, starts here, breaks above it. That's your entry. So when you break above that, so in this case, 365.30s, that's your signal that, hey, I'm about to get at least 50 cents to a dollar, in directional move here. So with that said, they end up pumping it all the way up here to 367. We actually started jumping in there and taking advantage of this trade at 366, because again, we knew that there was major liquidity sitting on 365, the major $5 increment. So we were taking advantage of the $1 push through. We knew we had an algo here at 366.20. So again, that 366 to 366.24. Like I said, that was the key area to start taking advantage of. Market pumped really hard, end up pushing it another dollar. Well, we doubled up there on our SPY ES trade. So again, because our chances of it not coming back to 360.50-ish to give us our break even, slim to none. Okay, you got to realize what just took place here. You gapped up, you gapped over 360, monster level. They didn't retest it. They just pushed through 365, another $5 increment, major level. Okay, the chances of them not coming back and retesting 365, or in this case, at least 366.50, slim to none, slim to none. So, and this is also too on the back of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ignition candles. Okay, well, this is our little symbol here that tells us where our ignition candles. Ignition candles are, again, these are candles. These are candles that big money, like I said, it takes big money to form these candles, and we know when they form them, they want to protect them. They've invested a lot of money in these candles, and they want to protect them. That's why, what can you do? You identify them, you can stick your stop loss just behind them, and you play with them. That's how you take advantage. But at the same time, when you start getting ignition candles, this extended, this many in a row, they're about to give them start giving some of those back. So, but the main one here that was going to be protected at all costs was this one right here. So your ignition candle from the base of the breakout, that's always going to be the most powerful one. Okay, so always keep that in mind. That's the one that they're going to be doing everything they can to protect all of this candle, and especially once they start getting down to the bottom side of it. So anyway, with that said, 367, we get our pullback to the algo 36. And another thing why we confidently added at this 367 area, I actually called it out at 367.20 that I was doubling up on this position, was because we had our algo back here at 366.24. We knew the chances of them not coming back and retesting this algo was so slim. So anyway, so that was easy to take advantage of. We took our runners. I called out to take the runners here. It's safe to take them, or best to take them right here around this 365.50s, 365.60s. We had their VWAP coming in. We had our moving, our powerful intraday moving average here coming in. So anyway, so that's why we took it there, because I said, hey, I don't want to be in a situation they pop this thing and then I'm mad. That I just gave a bunch of my runner profit back. Well, sure enough, what did they do? They pushed it back up here. Now, another thing that I brought out was when the market is very overextended like this. So it gapped over a big level in its run. So gap and run. When you get a gap and run situation, understand that they're going to start pulling back. They're going to start pulling back 50 cents to a dollar on every dollar increment. So we see here, they pushed 366, 367. They pulled back on that, gave all that back. They pushed up here to 368. What did they do? They gave it all back. Okay. So just understand that. Keep that in your mind. Those 50 cent to a dollar pullbacks, once you start getting very overextended, are very, very free money. So with that said, they pull it back to our algo here on this pullback. They pop it off. They finally come back, retest it, blast straight through it. Where do they go? We got our double algo here at 365. They come in there, bounce off of it, come back down. They hold the line. Big part of why they held the line right here, this candle right here, that right there. You want to know why this turned around here in midair? This candle right here. That was the candle Big Money said, hey, we ain't giving. This is where it stops. This is where it stops. So anyway, so that's why you got the reversal there. Ignition candle, beautiful. So whenever you get to a key level and they give you another ignition candle, so again, right here. So whenever you know this is a key level and then they give you another ignition candle right here, oh, you really know they're gonna want to protect this level now. So from there, bam, they start pushing it, get it all the way back to this time. They can't even get it all the way to the dollar increment. That's when you know. That's when you know the market's getting very overextended. Is when they start pulling back on these 50-cent increments. So anyway, so they pull it back straight into the algo. They pop it there, pull it back, pop it off the algo again. You know, just choppy, just playing ping pong here off the algo. Now, one thing to keep in mind is they kept setting ignition candles on this algo. So right here for the rest of the day, I mean, ignition candle on the algo. Ignition candle on the algo. Ignition candle on the algo. So that tells you right there, this is it. The computers and institution, they are holding this algo. And as you can see the rest of the day, there you go. There you go. If they were going to give it up, it would have been in the last hour or something like that. It's crazy pump or dump rather. But so yeah, with that said, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you got the course, you got all, you know what all these indicators are, to take advantage of everything, and also the ones that I'm not showing here, the additional indicators. So anyway, with that said, I hope that helps you out. If you have any questions on anything, feel free to let me know. Also, too, you know, we took advantage of, like I said, in voice chat here, but for the most part, you know, I didn't send out any entries. You know, doesn't happen very often, but I didn't send out any SPY and ES entries today. Nope, just you know, it was I just really wanted to protect people. Yeah, I could have sent some of the pullbacks here. You know, we could have played that, but at the same time, the SPY ES channel is reserved. When I send those plays out, in the same way with the Precision Day Trade channel, when I send those plays out, you can have confidence these are extremely high probability plays. This is not me, you know, if you want to come for the, you know, like I said, everything that's sent out there is A and A plus. If you want to come play some B setups, or some A minus setups, hey, you come into voice chat, you know, we'll call out a lot of that type stuff. Or, you know, like I said, prime example here, whenever it gave that nice ignition candle, you know, I pointed out that, hey, this was a candle right here. That's the one that they're showing they want to hold now. So anyway, so with that said, a lot of education in the first 2 to 3 hours of the day while we're in voice chat. So anyway, extremely powerful, especially too once you've gone through the course, to be able to learn to now, because again, once you understand all this, you have all this, you can get all this on your chart. There's nothing the market can pull, fake you out or anything like that. You know where everything's at. You know where all the key levels are. Understand that, the major liquidity and the strategies to take advantage of that. Now it just becomes, an exercise of being able to read it and react to it. So recognize it, read it, react, and that's all you need. So anyway, so like I said, come to voice chat. Be more than happy to help you get everything ingrained there. So with that said, that'll do it for this video. Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching the video.